Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Prison Architect, returning to the fortress. And we're having quite a lot of violence at the moment in the prison, and things are a little bit tricky. We may have had either one prisoner escape or die. I haven't had any indication that a prisoner has died. It's quite possible one has escaped, though. So I'm going to have to, I think, crack down a little bit more on the prison. But now that I have deployment, I'll be able to do that. And there's some things I've change that should help in some regards. So let's go ahead and first take a look at that deployment while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to want everything in this part of the prison to be staff only. So no prisoners are coming in this area at all. Now that I have walled it off with doors, I can do that. I also want to have this be staff only. Nobody can come in there. Now that we have that taken care of, I hope this will prevent future attempts on escape, and also cordon off the unfinished parts of the prison so that we don't have to worry about them and we can have our eyes on other areas. Now we need to go on guard deployment. Well, I'm going to need guards deployed in the yard. I already have guards deployed in the shower, the canteen. I don't see a reason why not to have a guard deployed here. And minimum of one there, so we have people opening all the doors that we need open. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need is patrols, but we're currently working on that, I'm assuming? Yeah, we're currently working on patrols, so we don't have that yet. Health is established. I'm going to need to do things with that. I do have a grant to do. And now that I realize that I've kind of gotten so distracted, I forgot about the small cells. So clearly the capacity has not gone up. So that means that did not work. So I am currently having some issues, I would say, as a result. So I have definitely didn't plan this out right. That's unfortunate. I really didn't know. I mean, all it says in the room is that you need it to be a minimum size of 2 by 3, but it doesn't specify that the size per prisoner needs to be a certain thing. So let's take a look. There is a quick build here of a shared cell that has 2 bunk beds. And it looks like that is... it's 5 by 6, but the interior space is 3 by, I would guess, 4 here. Oh, I get it. So you're having to have a minimum of 6 per 2 prisoners, I would guess. And unfortunately, we haven't managed that with the way that I planned things out. Now, I could fix that, but it would be rather expensive, and the space that I've allotted would not be efficient anymore. I mean, let's think about things here real quick here. I'll let time go by a little bit while we go. So right now, my cells are too wide. What we need is a minimum of 12 spaces. Right now, I only have 10. So all I really would need to do is draw the wall over 1 space. So let's say I did that. And I brought this wall over here, 1 space over. So this would now be legal. Well, the problem with that is then this cell needs shifted. So let's say we've got 1, 2, 3 cells. We would need to shift the wall over 3 times. So we'd be here. Now this cell is not very efficient, or it's not really much of anything at all, really. I'm kind of surprised with the legal thing that didn't change things, because theoretically, that law, or the thing that we passed, means that we can have cells of any size. But theoretically, I could keep the cell layout the same, but just drawing things over 1 wall. Alternatively, I could bring things down like this. This would make these legal, but then, of course, here's the problem. I have some of these cells I'd be able to make legal. Like, for instance, I could draw this down. But then this cell's a problem. I could draw this down. But then this cell's a problem. Or these group of cells are a problem. So either way I look at this, solutions are not going to be easy. But I'm very slightly off. Honestly, if I just made this a little bit longer, or some other change of dimension, we'd be fine. But alternatively, I could just try and use the space for what it is, tear all the walls down, everything down, and try and rework it. And what I might want to do is actually use this space to see how I could change, without changing the dimensions of the space, change the cells to make them actually legal the way I wanted them to be. That might take some doing, but we'll figure it out. There are some projects that I started that I kind of forgot about. I think I have prison labor unlocked and all that stuff, too. All right, well, in any case, did I take my grant? I didn't. Okay. So now we know for sure it's going to be a little bit harder to get the cell block C, so there's no reason to continue to work on that. I could do this, although that would take me a little bit of time to do. It wouldn't take me a lot. Alternatively, I could just do the short-term investment and worry about things like that later. You know what? I'll go with that. I think that's something we want. Okay. So I think it's time to get solitary cells built up here now that we are having a little bit more problems. And speaking of solitary, I'm going to need somebody in here deployed. Okay. Deployment. On guard. Just to open and close doors and things like that. All right. I think we're pretty good. All right, so now the planning thing. How can I reorganize this in a way that will work? So I could move the wall over. So let's see what that would look like. Now, of course, this is an assumption here. Right, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, no, I need to... That one's legal. Then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have this dead space here. I might still be able to work this, though, so... Not necessarily a bad thing. And then the door obviously needs to be shifted a little bit, so it's more in the middle. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we need it one more. All right. Again, I can still work with the space, I think. And then we just do the same thing for the rest of them. Okay. I'll worry about shifting the doors later. I don't want to cut the wall. Go. Okay. Walls there, put the walls there, put the walls there. Oops, that's the hallway. There, that's what I want. Okay. Similar thing over here. This might not be too bad. I might lose some base efficiency, but not be too bad off in the end. And then cut out these. Okay. So we've got all this dead space here. But what I'm thinking with this is I could make this another cell here. I mean, because it's the same dimensions, right? So as long as it's 6 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wall. It's making that a little tricky there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is where we're having a problem because that would be the wall here. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this can't be a legal space here. All right. So if we were to make this legal. It'd be something like that. So we have cell, 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 nothing. I can make it a singular cell. A small one, but a singular one. And then we just need to reorder the doors so they're a little bit more in the center. And honestly, that's not too bad. You lose some prisoner capacity, but let's see what we've got. We've got, I see 2 groups of 6, 3 groups of 6. So that's 18. Then you've got 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's another group of 6. Makes 24. 24 times 4 is 80, 92, and then 93. That's what I see. So not quite as good as the originally planned, but I think we can make that work. And what I might do to make this truly work is build this cell block, shift prisoners from this cell block to this cell block. So we would dismantle this cell block. And then we would come back over and fix this cell block. But as you can see, it's only some movement of walls, really, that I need to do. So it's not that big of a deal. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do the medical stuff now that I've kind of figured that out. So we're going to need an infirmary and a morgue. So first, let's do the infirmary. It's going to be here. And where is the morgue? Morgue's right next to it, which is going to be here. And then we're going to need the objects for those rooms. So first, let's do the morgue. It's going to be like that. For future deaths. Now, the medical table or bed, I don't know if this is legal or not. I may need to shift. Must have had an autosave because there was kind of a delay there. Okay, that should be good. This guy's been sitting here for a while. Let me get a guard to take care of that. Or not. We've got a lot of injured people that need taken care of. Come on, guards. Alright, I guess I might as well speed some things up. This danger level is as high as I've ever seen things like this. Kind of why I don't want to bring the prisoner population any higher than we have it right now. All right. Have patrols done so we can get that done. We need 3 guards on patrol. Let's draw the patrol in the hallways. That definitely changed the way this looks. This is very different. Okay, and then we need to assign 3 guards. 1, 2, 3. And what else are we missing for that? Oh, there we go. They just need to show up. Okay, government security ratings. We need dog handlers and armed guards. I would love to get that done. And that's something that is probably a priority for this particular prison, the way that we're playing it. So let's see about doing that I would say soon. Biggest problem with that is just the daily cash flow problems. Alright, so we probably want things over here, I would imagine. Now, theoretically, we would want the dog kennel actually near the entrance, so I might put that over here somewhere. I actually really didn't think about that. Alternatively, I could put a door that goes outside somewhere over here. Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. So we'll put the kennel over here, and then we'll put the armory somewhere else. Now, again, I might not use all this space, so I'll plot it off of this pathway, but there might be another pathway that comes over here, so... let's see. Planning. And again, we can have time roll while we do this. Alright, what is the minimum size for the kennel? Which I might not even have eyes on. So we've got kennel 5x5, armory, no size requirements. So 5x5. Okay, well, I might want it bigger than that. But honestly, we don't need as many dogs, I don't think. Because mostly we're just going to have patrols around the perimeter. But in any case, let me plot it out here. So, planing, walls. I just want to make sure we're also getting things done here that we need done. I'd say for the most part. Infirmary's active. I need staff, though. Doctors. We need 2, right? Minimum. I'll even hire 4, just because of the nature of what's going on right now. Okay. Now we can do the planning. So walls. Okay, so 5x5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably fine, but we're probably going to make it longer here. So the kennels, I believe, are too long. Maybe I make it 1 more wide. And then the plan here is we have kennels on the other side. We have 2 pathway. And how long is this? 17. So I would like a door, jail door, be placed here. And then go back to planning. And then we'll put door there, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and just build this. And we will also need another jail door there. And then the armory is probably going to go here. But I might want to, what I might do. Alright, we're going to need materials. Sorry, planning here. Alright, what does a armory need? I know it needs lockers. Needs weapons racks, guard lockers, and a table. Okay. The more of the lockers I have, the more armed guards I can have. And honestly, the way that I'm building this prison and the idea of this prison, we're going to want a really big armory. Now, I don't remember lockers, how big they are, but I'm going to assume that they're size 2. So let's see if we can maximize stuff here. So we got 2. Okay, so ideally we'd want an odd number. I'm not an odd, an even number. To maximize how many of these things we can have in here. Okay. So that's the idea at the moment. Let's see. Again, I need to have time run while I do this. So let's say we have lockers all along here. And then we do something like that for the rest of the space. I think the weapon racks needs to be too big. Now, I do have to account for tables. So let's say we have a table there, table there. Go ahead and cut out a door somewhere. It doesn't really matter where. And then we just continue with the lockers. Again, armed guards are going to be very common in this prison. And then maybe we just do weapons racks like that. Have a couple of those. How many armed guards would be able to manage? 1, 2, 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 15. And then we've got another, what, 4 down here? So that's quite a lot. And honestly, with the way the space is set up, I can probably cram a couple more in. So that works for me. But don't route like that, you dumbass. I hate when they do that. But I guess, in his mind, it's no different than routing the other way. But let's go ahead and see about concrete walls here. The sooner I have armed guards, the happier I'll be. Now, granted, I might not be able to afford them, so that's another problem altogether. And I guess we start the process of building the walls for this bit. Oh, I didn't really do the door here. That's okay. I can do that. Finish this all off. Money might be tight once we get the cell block finished. But I'll go ahead and transfer prisoners over to this side. Then we will get more capacity out of this too than we currently have, because we're currently working with half capacity more or less. Oh, bastard. That autosave screwed me. Okay, almost done. There we go. We need to route utilities as well. So kind of hard to tell where the utilities end. Okay. And we have some violence going on. Alright, well, our infirmary is getting full-time business here. Oop. Missed a little spot in there. Okay. Let's go ahead and work on the armory. And then dogs, I guess. We can actually get these things useful. I might as well hire more, well, I might not be able to afford hiring more janitors at the moment. I definitely need increased capacity because daily cash flow is going to be a problem. Water's also going to be a problem. I might as well route that. Might need to have this one come down an extra space so that we can allow for toilets. Alright, danger's going down. I don't really know why, but it just has. Oh, I need to hire a psychologist before that finishes. This might do me in, though, as far as cash flow. Okay. That's done. Okay, and now we need another grant. And I don't see a reason not to do cell block C. Because that gives me a good amount of money up front. And I'll be able to complete it as soon as we're done with the cell block. So the idea for that was we finish off the cell block over here. And before we cancel out this cell block, we just allow that capacity to be high enough so the grant gets finished. And then once that's done, we can dismantle, we can, turn these, we just turn the dormitories off, more or less, just remove the rooms. And then I can be free to change the layout as is needed. I'm also going to need to change the layout over here as well, but for now, I'll just work on doing the cell block because that's important. And I want to make sure I don't run out of money before that gets completed because that's important as well. These jail doors are going to slow down the work progress, but there's not really anything I can do with that. Huh. This got queued first for some reason. Don't really know why. And I'm going to put a solitary door here. As a matter of fact, we need more solitary cells, so in case future violence breaks out. We also need more toilets. And then utilities go along with that. Okay. Alright, there's the danger down. That wasn't too bad, I guess. And I might as well make these solitary while I'm thinking about it, so I don't forget. Oh, no, we don't need this to be solitary. Alright. Alright, let's see what needs are like. I honestly don't really care about a lot of these. Because again, this is not an amusement park. This is a dystopian future prison. Where dystopian future stuff happens. And honestly, outside that one little spurt of violence, we haven't really... Oh, I was going to say, we haven't had really that many issues, and then that happens. Oh, he's going to be having fun in solitary for a while, not getting a shower and being all freaked out. I can take a look at the gang population now. We got one member of each gang. That's not too bad at the moment. And I think this point is a good point to put a cut in the video. So the cell block's getting constructed. It'll be probably done in the next video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.